He's going to hunt you down. He's going to find out what's going on. And that's good. That's good for everybody. That's how you should be looking at this. Like, wow, we have a brilliant mind that is examining these really corrupt and goofy systems and bringing in a bunch of psychopaths.
Just when you thought the chaos couldn't go any deeper, boom! The whole situation explodes like a firecracker on live TV. Joe Rogan didn't just respond to Whoopi Goldberg's rant. He unleashed no filter, no sugarcoating, and absolutely no patience for what he called pure delusion. He went off. Why? Because Whoopi didn't just stir the pot on The View. This time, she straight up tossed it into the fire. Her comments weren't just snarky or sassy, they were something else entirely. She made a jaw-dropping claim that had even Hollywood insiders looking around like, wait, did she just say that? On national TV in front of millions, Whoopi boldly accused Elon Musk of using his fortune to secretly manipulate US government policies. Not behind-the-scenes whispers, not alleged rumors. She flat out said it on air. No documents, no sources, no receipts, just vibes. And she said it like she was casually spilling tea at brunch.
I've been saying it for a while.
Yes, you have.
I've been saying that I think Elon Musk believes he's president. I do.
Well, you've been calling him vice president.
I've called him vice president. I called him president because I don't know what JD is doing. I hardly ever say. I don't remember the last time we even talked about JD.
You're right. He's planning the presidency when they get rid of Trump.
So you think it's Musk Vance?
Possible.
Hey, you know who? Stay away from the stairways. Because, you know, people put the leg out to trip you going down the stairs.
People watching were stunned. Social media caught fire. Comment sections lit up like Christmas. Even political analysts were out here scratching their heads, wondering, where did that come from? And Elon, oh, he was not having it. He didn't tweet, he didn't post, he lawyered up fast. Within days, Whoopi was slammed with a brutal defamation lawsuit. No chill, no warning, just straight up legal smoke. Paper served. Game on. This wasn't gossip anymore. This was a battle. But just when you thought it couldn't spiral any further, things got wild. When Whoopi stepped into that courtroom, it was game over. She broke down completely. Tears flowing, hands shaking, full-on public meltdown. She apologized like her career depended on it. Because, let's be real, it kinda did. She begged the judge for mercy, admitting she crossed a line. But Joe Rogan, oh no, he wasn't buying any of it. He jumped back on his podcast and torched her apology. She knew exactly what she was doing. He said, you don't get to accuse someone of political manipulation on national television and then cry in court like it was a silly slip-up. Boom. That statement hit harder than anything she said on The View. Fans went crazy. The internet exploded. Rogan didn't just clap back. He shut it all down. And honestly, that might have been the final nail in the coffin for Whoopi's media run. Her image was already hanging by a thread, and now even her usual supporters are quietly backing away. You know it's bad when the same folks who'd ride for her no matter what suddenly go ghost. All of this chaos started with one cocky moment on live TV, one look into the camera, and one off-the-rails accusation. In the middle of a heated View segment, Whoopi casually dropped a bomb. She said Elon Musk and Senator JD Vance were plotting some big political move.
You're not really making the world a better place.
Right.
You're just allowing these financial institutions to enact control over corporations. And it's a really shifty, weird way they're doing it by making it seem like they're trying to make the world a better, more equal place.
He's not just tweeting anymore, she said. He's moving pieces behind the scenes. And then, boom, she took it up a notch. Mid-discussion, with the calmest voice ever, she added, if Donald Trump were somehow removed from office, that's the bomb. Like, what? She just threw that out there like it was some open secret. No source, no article, no backup at all. She didn't cite a whistleblower. She didn't flash a leaked document. Nothing. Just bold words dropped like grenades. The timing, reckless. The delivery, stone cold. The fallout, instant and brutal. This wasn't some spicy TV hot take. It was a massive allegation flung straight into millions of homes, with zero proof to back it up. She didn't even bother throwing in a soft allegedly or a slick according to reports. Nope. Whoopi dropped that bomb like it was cold cold, hard fact. No hesitation, no caution. Just straight up bold statements, like she was reading gospel. And that is exactly where she fumbled the whole bag. Elon Musk? Oh, he wasn't about to let that slide like some goofy celebrity gossip. Not a chance. Within days of that episode airing, his legal team was already locked and loaded. Papers drafted, signed, and flying. Elon filed a lawsuit accusing Whoopi of knowingly spreading false and damaging claims. And this wasn't just about hurt feelings. His lawyers said her wild statements wrecked Tesla's stock and sabotaged high-stakes business deals. One of those deals, reportedly worth over $100 million. Gone. Vanished. Just like that. All because of one careless, unfiltered moment on live TV. That's not a slip-up. That's a straight-up financial disaster. And Elon? He's not suing for clout or some polite wrist slap. Nah, he's bringing the heat. He's demanding a massive payout to cover all the alleged losses. We're talking real money. On top of that, he wants a full public apology, not some half-hearted note ghostwritten by a PR intern and buried in the third paragraph of a press release. Wait, it gets better. He's also demanding a televised retraction, just as loud and just as public as the moment she went off. A live broadcast where Whoopi has to own up front and center. Meanwhile, Whoopi strolled into court like it was just another episode of The View. Cool, collected, maybe even thinking she could charm her way through the chaos with a wink and a smile. But charm won't cut it this time. Not with $100 million on the line. But when the judge started laying out the full weight of the charges, reality hit hard. There were no cameras to save her, no commercial break to cut the tension. That courtroom went ice cold, and that's when it all collapsed for Whoopi. Full breakdown, tears pouring, her voice cracking, stuttering out apologies like she was scrambling for a lifeline.
You know, when you're a certain age, you use words that you know from when you were a kid or you remember saying, and that's what I did today, and I shouldn't have. I should have thought about it a little longer before I said it, but I didn't. I'm really, really sorry.
At one point, through the sobs, she told the judge, "I never meant for it to go this far." But by then, it was way too late. The damage was done. And then enter Joe Rogan. On a fresh episode of The Joe Rogan Experience, he came in swinging. No warm-up, no filter, just raw Rogan energy. He didn't tiptoe around it, he went in, straight to the core of the drama, and he called it exactly how he saw it. She knew what she was doing. Joe said flat out, "You don't sit on one of the biggest platforms in America, accuse one of the most powerful men in tech of shady government schemes, and then act shocked when it backfires. That's not how this game works." He didn't stop there. He straight up called her emotional courtroom moment a performance. Too little, too late, he said. And honestly, a lot of people were nodding, loud. After that episode dropped, social media went into overdrive. People clipped it, posted it, memed it, and shared it like wildfire. TikTok flooded, Twitter poppin', YouTube ? Already monetized. Some users even said, Rogan just said what everybody else was too scared to say out loud. He didn't just speak his mind, he hit a nerve the whole internet was already feeling. Joe Rogan's main point hit like a gut punch. If you're gonna toss out bold, dangerous claims on national TV, especially the kind that can crash stock markets, mess with public trust, or wreck real people's livelihoods, you better come with receipts, solid proof, cold facts, something. But Whoopi, she came empty-handed, and now she's drowning in a full-blown legal disaster. And this ain't just another celebrity clash. Rogan made it crystal clear. This moment marks a shift, a reality check for daytime TV hosts who've been running wild with their opinions, thinking they're untouchable. Now, the consequences are showing up fast and furious. At one point, Whoopi even threw out a wild comment saying Elon Musk could throw every Republican in jail. That line, it sent the whole conversation off the rails. Twitter went nuts. Analysts lost their minds. And Joe? He ripped into it. He dragged the statement as flat out reckless, calling it a prime example of how out of touch some of these media giants really are. No nuance, no logic, just vibes and hot takes. But Joe didn't stop at the surface. He dug deep, and what he pulled up had people's jaws on the floor. He brought out real receipts from Whoopi's past, the kind of stuff no one expected. He reminded the world that Whoopi wasn't always the anti-Trump warrior we see today. Nope, there was a time she laughed at Trump's jokes, praised some of his business wins, and even smiled her way through his Apprentice era. That's right. Rogan called out the switch up. He exposed how she once welcomed the same man she now tears apart on air. And with that, he made one thing painfully clear. The internet never forgets. Now she's calling it a threat. Those old clips showing her grinning next to Trump, acting all friendly and chill. But once it became politically convenient to switch sides, she flipped that script faster than a DJ at a block party. And Joe Rogan, he wasn't letting that slide.
Stop Hitler by any means necessary. Wouldn't you stop Hitler? And so they equate Donald Trump with Hitler and go, here you go. This is our modern. Do you see what Whoopi Goldberg said?
What'd she say?
Whoopi Goldberg said that Biden could arrest all the Republicans and put them in jail. You just need to see how unhinged this kind of thinking is.
He has all those rights. He is immune from everything.
Yeah.
You know what Joe Biden could do since he is presently president?
What?
Whoa. He could throw every Republican in jail.
He called it exactly what it was. Fake loyalty for clout. Straight up. He rolled the footage loud and clear. No edits, no mercy. Named names, dates, moments, everything. And he warned his viewers, stop eating up whatever these people feed you. Start asking the real questions. He snapped. Is this even about truth anymore? Or is it all just one big performance to push a narrative that benefits a select few? His tone, straight fire, confrontational, intense, and sharp as ever. He wasn't treating this like just another media slip-up. He called it manipulation on full blast. Rogan laid it out. The media is not always handing you facts. They're serving up reactions, drama, division, and now the mess is here. It's raw, and it's ugly. Ever since the lawsuit against Whoopi Goldberg exploded into headlines, she's been in full-on damage control mode. In court, she tried to pull the brakes. Hard. Reports say she broke down crying again, telling the judge, I didn't mean to hurt anyone. I didn't expect it to blow up like this. But this wasn't The View, and the judge wasn't playing to an audience. That emotional performance? It didn't move a single chair in that courtroom. Elon's legal team came locked and loaded. Facts, figures, and fury. They weren't there for sympathy. They came for accountability. By that point, it didn't even matter what Whoopi said. The moment had passed, and the consequences were closing in. Joe Rogan addressed the courtroom chaos on air again, and this time, he went even harder. He said it straight. People like Whoopi think fame gives them a pass to say whatever, reckless, false, or harmful, without ever facing real consequences. But not anymore. Not this time. Joe Rogan didn't mince words. He said celebrities have gotten way too comfortable dropping wild hot takes, thinking they can just spin the story later if it backfires. But this time, that safety net snapped hard. Rogan made it crystal clear. Not today. Elon Musk's legal team isn't here for damage control. They're here for domination. Insiders are whispering that this lawsuit is turning into a legal earthquake. Elon's team, they're building a monster case, brick by brick, weeks of work already in the bag. We're talking full transcripts, financial fallout breakdowns, viral video clips, social media meltdowns, even investor testimonials. Yeah, they're not just showing up with drama, they're bringing the data. And the claim? It's huge. They're saying Whoopi's on-air rant directly messed with Tesla's stock and sabotaged ongoing business talks that could have brought in millions. This isn't being brushed off as just another celebrity gaffe. Nope, they're treating it like a full-scale media ambush. And the consequences? Real, serious, and long overdue. This lawsuit is quickly becoming bigger than Whoopi, bigger than Rogan. It's a culture-shifting moment, a wake-up call. Because the real question now is, what happens when people with massive platforms finally get held accountable? What happens when crossing the line doesn't end with a PR statement or a social media break, but with courtroom consequences? Rogan said it best. The game has changed. And looking at how Musk's legal team is moving, it's looking like he's right. They're not just sending angry emails or doing interviews. They're launching a full-blown legal blitz. And they're not stopping till it hits every nerve in the industry. They didn't just pull a few receipts, they dug deep.
One of the things I wanted to talk to you about, I wanted to play this, but we decided we shouldn't play it. We don't want anybody to have any sort of a way to get it down. The episode of you when you were on The View, when you were running for president.
Donald Trump is a billionaire, a real estate mogul, and a television star. But does he really want to add President of the United States to his resume? A lot of people would like him to.
You got introduced as our friend Donald Trump.
Please, let's find out, and please welcome my friend, Donald Trump.
That's right.
Whoopi Goldberg gives you a big hug and a kiss. Joy Behar gives you a big hug. Barbara Walters gives you a big hug. They all loved you.
Elon's legal team has pulled years of Tesla's financial records. tracking every single stock dip and cross-referencing them with the exact moment Whoopi's segment aired. And it doesn't stop there. They're lining up expert witnesses ready to testify on how badly her words could have damaged Tesla's reputation and bottom line. But the heat keeps rising, because now business partners are stepping forward too. Sources say some of them are willing to testify under oath that massive deals worth millions, collapsed the moment Whoopi's comments hit the airwaves. This ain't your average defamation case. It's a high-stakes takedown, and the goal is crystal clear: to prove that Whoopi didn't just misspeak. They're aiming to show she knew her claims were false, and said them anyway, with full intent to stir controversy and cause damage. If the court rules in Elon's favor, this won't be some behind-the-scenes payout or private apology. For Whoopi Goldberg, we're talking a full-blown televised retraction, live, in front of millions. And the financial hit? Legal insiders are whispering numbers as high as $50 million. When you add up the crushed business partnerships, market backlash, and long-term brand damage, that price tag starts making sense. And the chatter inside ABC, it's getting louder. There are quiet talks about whether Whoopi might be asked to step down from The View entirely if the network decides she's become too much of a legal and PR risk. Even if she somehow escapes without writing a single check, her reputation is already on life support. For years, Whoopi built her brand on being bold, sharp-tongued, and unapologetic, a voice that didn't back down. But now, people are wondering how much of that was real and how much was just a well-rehearsed act. Joe Rogan summed it up cold. "This isn't cancel culture," he said. "This is consequences culture. And right now, the consequences are crashing down hard." That one line from Rogan hit like a gut punch. He wasn't demanding censorship. He wasn't trying to cancel Whoopi. He was laying down a hard truth. If you've got the power to influence millions, then you better be ready to take the heat when you mess up. No hiding, no dodging, just consequences. But Rogan didn't stop there. In the final minutes of his podcast, he went full blast on the entire system. Not just Whoopi, he called out the whole media machine, the execs, the producers, the suits behind The View. And he asked the question everyone was thinking: how did this even make it to air without a single fact check? You've got people on national TV throwing out wild claims that can shake billion-dollar companies, and nobody's double-checking a thing? He snapped. His voice? Tired, sharp, done. No editors stepping in, no producers tapping the brakes, no legal team waving red flags, just straight up chaos dressed as commentary. Rogan made it clear this wasn't just about one reckless host. It was about a broken system that lets high-profile personalities say anything without backing, without proof, and without ever being held to the same standard the rest of the world would be. Then came the real jab. Rogan aimed straight at ABC News, the powerhouse behind The View. He called them out publicly, questioning how a network that big could let something so dangerous hit the airwaves with zero journalistic oversight. "This isn't some dude talking in his garage," he said. "This is primetime television. You don't get to wing it just because it fits the narrative you like." Boom. That one line summed up everything. Because this scandal, it's not just about Elon Musk catching strays or Whoopi breaking down in court. It's not even just about Rogan's outrage. It's about a system that's been running wild with zero checks, and now it's finally being dragged into the light. This whole situation isn't just about Whoopi or Elon. It's about something way bigger. It's about accountability. We're living in a time where entertainment and news are practically the same thing, where big-name personalities can blur facts and opinions, drop bombshell claims on live TV, and expect to walk away untouched. But now, the game's changing, fast. The courtroom's locked in, the audience is paying close attention, and media giants, they're sweating. Because today, one careless statement isn't just a soundbite, it's a ticking time bomb. One off-the-cuff comment can crash a stock, kill a business deal, or blow up a public image in seconds. The stakes, massive. And now the world's watching to see who takes the fall when the truth gets twisted on air. So here's the real question. What do you think about all this chaos? Was Joe Rogan right to torch Whoopi in front of millions? Or did he take it too far? Is Elon Musk's lawsuit a much-needed wake-up call for mainstream media? Or is it an overreaction to a reckless rant? Should Whoopi face real, lasting consequences for putting unverified claims into the national spotlight? Or should this all just be chalked up as a mistake? I want to hear your take. All of it. No filter, no soft takes. Sound off in the comments. Because this drama, it's not just celebrity beef, it's a full-on conversation about power, truth, and who really gets held accountable when things go south. We're in an era where one sentence can ruin reputations, sink fortunes, or launch lawsuits. And the people behind those words, they're finally being forced to face the fallout. At this point, Joe Rogan's done playing nice. Elon Musk isn't letting a single thing slide. And Whoopi, she's finding out the hard way that no amount of courtroom tears can erase what was said live on national TV. Whether you think Elon's lawsuit is way too much or way overdue, one thing's crystal clear. The game has officially changed. This isn't just another media slip-up, it's a full-blown reckoning. A spotlight on the media machine that's been running unchecked for way too long. And guess what? It's far from over. We've got more court dates on the calendar, more behind-the-scenes shakeups in the works, and way more drama ready to drop. What started as one reckless comment has turned into a wildfire that's lighting up the entire industry. So if you're here for the truth, the twists, and all the raw, unfiltered fallout, don't just scroll past. Smash that like button. It helps this story reach more people who need to see what's really going down. Subscribe right now and turn on notifications, because when the next twist hits, and trust me, it's coming, you'll want to be the first to know. With how fast this is unraveling, the next headline could break any day now. Thanks for watching, fam. Stay sharp, stay questioning, and most of all, stay tuned. See you in the next one.